We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. I'm Pat O'Brien. This is Business Rockstars. A little different show this time around because we have two budding entrepreneurs who make robots for now. But Matt Krager, Matthew, is it Matt? Can I call you Matt?
Yeah.
What should I call you?
Matthew.
Okay, Matthew. Matthew Krager is a senior in high school, right?
Yes.
And John Logrippo is a junior in high school. And you guys go where?
Servite High School.
Servite High School. So you're in the Friarbots, and your team, let me guess, Team 3309, right?
That's correct.
How'd you get the number?
Well, when we registered to join the robotics competition, we were the 3,319 to join. So they just gave us that number, and it sticks between years. So that's what people know us as now.
So just forever, right?
Forever.
So yeah.
So you're telling me right now on this television show you're going to be in high school forever? Guys, you got to graduate at some point.
Who knows? Maybe we can go back and be adults and tell our kids to join.
There you go. You start to you can godfather people in. All right, tell me about this now. These guys are in robotics big time and spend a good portion of their day at school making robots. Tell us about the one you brought here.
So the robot we brought here was for the 2016 game, and its name's Obsidian. It's powder-coated black, so it looks really cool. And what it works to do is it goes over some obstacles, and then it'll shoot a ball up into a castle. And the castle's around 6 to 7 feet tall, and it just goes back and forth and collects balls and keeps shooting up and down.
So it's a competition, right?
Yeah, competition.
And did you win?
We won the OC Regional this year for Orange County, and we got to World Championships, so that was exciting, and we got to quarterfinals there.
Now, does this competition require you to do everything? You can't have any outside help? In other words, you can't drive over to a Burbank robot store or a professional.
Yeah, so the components off the shelf, they give us a limit on how much stuff that we could buy right off the shelf, and everything else they don't put a money limit on. That's just stuff that we've made. So like the metal and the actual frame of our robot, that's all made in-house using aluminum extrusions that we just buy as like material that we form into a robot. There's no price on that because we made it.
All right.
But the camera on our robot, which we use for vision tracking to aim the shot, that's a component off the shelf. We call it like COTS, so that's the acronym. And that we have a limit of like $500 per COTS part.
Now, unlike Soapbox Derby, the same thing, right? A little simpler.
Yeah.
But you had to make it out of the bulkheads, and you had to buy all the wood yourself, and you had the ball-bearing tires. By the way, I came in second.
Really?
Because the other guy crashed. And there's three of us.
Was it Jeff Gordon?
That was not Jeff Gordon. But I've talked to him about building a soapbox. So in the modern age now, is robotics a big deal in high schools now?
I'd say it's a very big deal. You know, it's just kind of a way that high schoolers can get involved in the field of STEM, so they kind of know what's coming when they get into college.
What's STEM?
Science, technology, engineering, and math. Yeah.
And the program that we're in is, I believe the statistic is in all 1% of all American high schools, and it's also present in Europe, China, and Australia.
Who's ahead?
So you have First Robotics is the head company, and that stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. That was started back in 1992, and every year since then they've hosted a yearly competition where they make up some game. Kind of like if I were to tell you how to play NASCAR or like drive a car for the first time, and you have to build a car to play that. So they do that every single year with a new game, and so that's why we have many different robots, and the one that we brought here today is the 2016 one.
And your robot basically throws a ball into the castle, right?
Yeah. So
to a make-believe castle.
Yeah, it was actually designed by Disney, the game, so it's medieval themed this year.
I like that. And you spend massive amounts of time on this, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of late nights.
Yeah, so during the build season, we only have 6 weeks to build this robot.
Okay,
so
all right.
they give us the game first week in January, and then we have 6 weeks, and then we're not allowed to touch the robot anymore. So during those 6 weeks, we're there pretty much every waking second of the day. So from when we get out of school to 10 or 11 at night, or until they kick us out.
That's a lot of pizza. Now, does your can you get out? You can't get outside help, right?
We can have parents as well as engineers that we know personally. We call those mentors in the program. They lead us through the tough stuff, and they're there as teachers to guide us with the building of the robot.
But you can't hire, I know in this robot you brought in here, there's a lot of electricity and pressure and battery. You can't hire people to walk you through that stuff.
No.
You know it yourselves, right? What career opportunities are there for this?
So for me, I've always been interested in computer science. So for me coming into robotics, I was able to apply my knowledge of computer science to specifically robotics. And that's kind of inspired me to now set out to become a control systems engineer. So it's just kind of preparing me for college and what's to come.
It's almost going to be a downgrade for you, right? No, I'm serious.
I guess you could say that.
You know, because my son went to a very good school in L.A., and when he got to NYU, he thought NYU was like nothing compared to the school he went to in L.A.
Really?
So you got a bright future. What do you want to do with this information?
So on Team 3309, I prefer to do the charitable side of things, kind of like in a regular business how you have their hospitality department. I like to do public relations.
You're the VP of Public Relations, right?
Yeah, that's my official
You
position.
settle for VP? Come on, man.
I'm president.
Yeah, so I can stand under him. But I like to do organizing events, you know, being a representative for the team. But I also really love technology. So like my dream job would be like working at Google and organizing charity events for them.
Right.
You know. So
well, they're watching.
yeah,
So they might be there. You really have to know now. We talked about coding, and robotics is like the next thing, right?
Yeah.
Can you make them smaller?
There's other leagues where they have smaller robots, but our league's kind of what I like to say the hardcore league, where we're there all night.
Like the
All night
Caterpillar
systems.
League of robots. And what's the competition like?
Very intense. So how it kind of starts, there's a match, and there's 6 robots on the field at a time. So our robot will be paired with 2 other robots, and we'll be facing off against the other 3. And it starts with 15 seconds of autonomous. So the robot's moved with pre-programmed commands, so there's no driver. And then after that, the drivers will step up, and we'll have another 2 minutes of driver time. So it's just kind of, that's how the matches are divided in half.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a control systems engineer.
What does that mean?
So kind of just regulating, making the code to regulate something. So whether it be an automated car or machinery working in a factory, just kind of.
How about you?
I prefer like doing charity work and outreach. So I want to be like the head of a marketing department at like a
But you'll
company.
go to college. You'll do all
sure.
those things, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm guessing what, Stanford? What?
I'd like to go to Stanford, but I'm still in the process of applying. So probably Cornell, Carnegie Mellon, Stanford, MIT.
How about
I'll
you?
apply there.
Yeah, Notre Dame, and then kind of way far out of that, Santa Clara University.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You know, but that really doesn't matter where you go. There's a college for everybody. You know what I got on my SATs, by the way?
What?
The same as the guy next to me.
Really? Wow, that's very impressive. Very coincidental.
What do the other students think of this deal?
Oh, the younger students love it. It's just something to just. When you're a freshman out of high school, sometimes it's hard to put your feet where you want to. So robotics is kind of this place where you get to meet a bunch of other guys that are interested in technology, and kind of starting from there, you form friendships, and you just go at it with this one project where you like bond with other.
So you're not the nerds anymore, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, no, I'm being serious.
yeah.
I mean, you're the guys that people want to be now because that's what the future, right?
Yeah, no. Whenever we push out the robot at like a club rush, the football player's like, "What?" They always have like a ton of questions.
It's not like pick on the football players. Okay?
Oh, no,
They're
I
usually
don't-
bigger than us.
No, yeah, that's true.
How much do you think robotics should be taught at the college level as well? I mean, we're all heading to that. Coding is kind of almost gone. I mean, it's how far we are into it. But I mean, where can this end? I mean, how far does this go?
Well, with robotics, you could see the stuff that we're making in high school. Those are just like mechanisms that are designed to play a game, but they could easily be applicable to any other type of like process. Like our robot drives over into defense. Well, think about a robot that could drive over all terrain, kind of like what you see with the military. So it's like a small scale world that we're working in that just has a lot of real world applications. So we can go anywhere you want to take it.
All right. Was it frustrating building this thing?
At times, it was extremely frustrating. You know, late night, everyone's kind of just
Out of it.
out of it.
Yeah.
But we have to keep going, and you know, we got it done. So.
And when people look at this four-wheeler that you have out there, I thought it was a tool shed. I thought it was something to carry tools
Oh,
around.
really?
It doesn't look like you don't think of a robot. But tell me all the things it can do.
So our robot this year, they have a line of defenses.
You had one last year too?
Yeah. Last year's game was a little different. We had to stack totes. They were called. They were just pretty much boxes. We had to stack boxes and put a trash can on top. And the theme there was recycling.
I don't know how it relates to
What
recycling.
sick person came up with that? Okay, go ahead. Tell us about this.
All right. So this year's game, It crosses over a series of obstacles, and some of the obstacles, whether it be a wall, so one of them is like a seesaw kind of thing, and it has to cross over the obstacle while holding the ball, and it can't drop the ball while going over, and then it drives up to the castle and shoots the ball in.
All right. Well, it's impossible the way this one's constructed for the ball to drop unless you turn over, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
because you have the compression between the wheel that shoots and the intake wheel.
How many tries did you go through before this one worked?
So we had
3,309.
Well, it's all made of wood initially. That's our prototyping phase. The shooter that you'll see on the robot, we constructed that prototype in wood and hooked up a motor to it and just bent some metal to form the hood. And then after testing out the idea, we put it back into the computer, figure out like exact measurements, make it into metal, and put it onto the robot.
How many? Is there a deadline to making this?
Yes.
Given like this has got to be done at midnight, whatever.
So we have exactly 6 weeks, and it's down to midnight. Like after midnight on the last day, you're not allowed to touch the robot.
Yeah, you put it in a bag and you zip tie it and you can't touch it. And they inspect it to make sure that you don't.
John LaGrippo is here. He's the Vice President of Public Relations for Team Together
3309.
Not that
and
coordinated.
Matthew Krager is a senior and is a president, right, of this. And they built this robot, and they've got a big future and all that. But is there a big future in that?
I'll say there is. I mean, technology is being incorporated everywhere in today. I mean, even our refrigerators have touch screens on them now. So there's definitely.
So you can apply this to almost anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Totally. And when programming alone, the language that Matthew uses to actually program the robot, it's Java, and everybody uses that for any other level of like control systems engineering. So what we're learning here, and specifically, let's say for Matt, what he's learning here can easily be applied to any job that he wants to go through. And like a control systems engineer offered him a job once, and that guy worked at Google. So
Nice.
So yeah.
Now, is Google Google will be gone by the time you guys are looking for jobs, right?
I don't say that.
hopefully not. I like
I
it a
think
lot.
so. There'll be a movie studio is what they'll be.
Maybe.
But what do you think you'll end up doing? I know you told me what you wanted to do, but what do you think, the way this is going so fast? I'm talking about technology and computers and coding. And,
I mean, I just see me, regardless, just.
okay, here's your
programming.
answer next time you ask this, okay?
Okay, I like
Say
this.
there are jobs out there I don't know about yet.
Okay.
And there are.
Yeah.
Very true.
So you have no idea what's going on. What do your parents think of this?
My parents love it because they never had these opportunities when they were little. You know, that wasn't robotics wasn't a common thing for them to do. So just to see me go a separate path from where they went is really.
And yours?
They just wonder why I'm not at home more, because I'm always at school now.
I don't think I was ever at home. I told you guys.
Yeah.
I said we weren't building robots. We were doing other stuff. You guys, well, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does the robot have a name?
Obsidian. Because
What's
all black.
obsidian? What does that mean? Oh, because black. Okay. Matthew, thank you. John, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you out there. This has been Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. See you next time.